Well,
Okay.
hello and welcome everybody. This is Tim Duffy. I'm here with Yin. We are hosting our CE5 and spirituality group. We have a guest speaker with Gary Spolansky. And so I just have the honor of introducing Gary and just sharing a little words before he begins his presentation. And we'll also have a Q&A. So also some mini healings for
Yes,
those
sir.
who need it, right?
That's
So,
correct.
so let me tell you a little about Gary. I'm a Gary fan. Okay, when did I meet Gary? I love telling this story. I was working hard. I was an executive for a leadership organization, and I was going through very hard times. I had a personal success coach, and I was down. And my life coach said, "Hey, you might be depressed." And so I'm like, "How do I know? Take this test, and you'll determine whether you're depressed or not." I did the test and it says, yes, seek counseling. You need help. And so I go to my chiropractor, Dr. Mary, and she basically says, Tim, you seem so down. I'm like, yeah, according to this test, I'm depressed. She's like, you need to see Gary Spolansky. And I'm like, who the heck is Gary Spolansky? She's like, he's a shamanic, empathic healer and also a Reiki master teacher. He's been doing this for many years. As of today, he's been doing this work for over 33 years and he can help you. And I said, okay, I'm open. Let me schedule a session with him. And I see him. I go into his room. He has a nice couch. You sit down. He sits across from you. And he's like, Tim, just talk to me. Tell me what's going on. But just to let you know, I may be making some sounds, some grunts, and things like that. Don't be alarmed. It's because I'm attuning myself to you. I can feel these different emotions that you're having, and I will help you release them through my vocalizations. I'm like, okay, this sounds kind of weird, but I'm open. And so I started talking to him, and he was looking at me like he was peering through my soul. Like I couldn't even look at him. It was too intense. And I just started talking about my stress and frustration. And suddenly he started to growl, and his voice got higher and higher. And I tell you all with 100% as a testimony, I felt like a syringe of poison that was in my stomach was being sucked out. And I felt an uncontrollable smile go across my face. And after I sat down for 30 seconds, feeling just so happy and relieved from this stress and anxiety in my gut, I said, thank you. And Gary said, you're welcome. And then I asked him, now, what the hell did you just do to me? And so he explained to me what was going on. Like I was stressed out, I was disempowered, I wasn't following my quote unquote higher self. And Gary got to explain to me what that was. And I was hooked. And he helped cure me of my depression at one session. And once it was done, with that therapy type communication style of helping me heal what was going on with me, he says, let's lie you down on the table and let's do some Reiki on you. And I'm like, he taught me all about Reiki. After that, I'm like, I want to learn Reiki. He became my teacher. I learned Reiki level 1, Reiki 2, and became a master Reiki practitioner. And now Gary and I work together as Reiki master teachers to help other people learn how to do Reiki. And so we've known each other since 2010, Gary. So it's 15 years we've been working together.
Wow. Happy anniversary.
Yeah. So we invited him on to be join this group to actually share some positive messages. And I can't speak highly enough of Gary. So glad for him to be a mentor, a teacher, but now also a friend, a partner. So I'll throw it over to you, Gary.
All right. Thanks, Tim. Thank you for that great introduction. And hello, everybody. I'm happy to be here, and I'm grateful that you've all come to hear what I have to say. So, as Tim said, I've been a shamanic empathic healer for the last 33 years. And over the time, the skills have changed, grown, developed with the changing times. And before I get into the shamanic empathic aspect of what I do, I'd actually like to just talk for a minute about what's going on in the world. And I'm sure you'll all agree with me that there's a lot of dissension, a lot of feelings of anger, hurt, disappointment, people who are kind of saying to themselves, this doesn't work. I don't get it. And it's reinforced by news headlines, TV, radio, media, all pushing more and more of a divisive point of view, let alone the political discourse. And in our world, meaning the CE5 world, the spiritual world, we all talk about changing energies. We talk about ascension. We talk about how we're going into a golden age. Yet if you look at the reality around us, it seems like we're going backwards, not forwards. And so part of today's program is really to talk about why we feel this way. But before we go there, I want to talk about something that I would expect, and please, anybody, tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think you guys have ever heard this particular theory I'm going to advance tonight. To be fair, it's not mine. I read it in a book that was printed 30 years ago. It was a channeled message from the angels. But it wasn't just a channeled message. I mean, it was completely, as you read this book, you started to feel the higher energy. You started to feel that there was a flow to the words. And the guy who wrote it actually wrote it. Uh, he was stuck in a cabin in, I guess, central US in the woods, and it snowed for like 12 days straight. And in the course of the time, he wrote that book. The book is called The Third Millennium. And the theory that he advanced, among many things, is that where we talk about higher energies coming in, and we talk about how energy is coming from the galactic center, from the source, from other galaxies. What we're not allowing for is where we have been and where we're going. Meaning, if we use the 1987, the date of the harmonic convergence as a beginning point, since that time, for the past 38 years, we've been moving through space. Think about it. The Earth revolves around the sun. The planets in the solar system revolve around the sun. But we don't stop to think that everything is moving forward as we see things in linear views. So what's been happening since 87 is we've been on a plane, an inclined plane up this way, from an area of lower vibration to an area of higher vibration. And as we do so, what's been happening is those higher energies are doing what we see in physics as a normal process. That higher energy pushes on lower energy to cause it to release. Because the more you introduce a higher vibration to lower energy, the lower vibration has to rise in accordance with the stimulus given. So what's actually been happening now is that more and more of these energies over these last 38 years have been coming to us. But the effect is that all the thoughts, the fears, the traumas, the experiences, the negative situations, disappointments, etc., loss, grief that we've experienced that we haven't truly cleared are being given, we'll call it an external stimulus to come out. The problem is most people really don't know how to do this. Yes, meditation is a great way to go. Uh, you know, Reiki is a great way to go. Yoga and all the other disciplines that we know about, acupuncture. But at the same time, what's missing is recognizing that we can't talk our way through this. We can't analyze it. We can't figure it out. What we actually have to do is learn how to understand or to feel what we're actually feeling. And rather than intellectualize it, let it come out in emotion. Now, I know, honestly, that's scary because one, for most people, dealing with emotion is scary. Two, many people have heavy stuff that if they let it up, they'd be afraid they'd be overwhelmed. And so what you see in the world around us is that everybody is feeling these pressures. Some handle it better than others. But if you look around, you look at the traffic on the roads and the road rage and the people being insensitive, uncaring, aggressive, obnoxious, doing anything they can just because they want to get their anger or their frustration out, it makes for a very difficult situation. However, tonight, what I will be talking about is how shamanic empathic healing can help you let go of these energies, of these feelings of helplessness. And the beauty of it is, as we work with it, you're going to feel the transition. And Tim mentioned this earlier. As we go through the program, I am going to get to a point later on where I'm going to do healings. And the uniqueness, obviously, is that we're all in different locations. So I will be working with whomever wants to for the length of time that we can do it. And I will be doing the healings the shamanic way. And I'll explain more as we get there. But this way, you guys all get, excuse me, something that makes you feel like, hey, this is new, this is different, maybe this can help me. In addition, I was saying this to Tim because I was thinking, I don't want this to come off as a sales presentation. So what I'm going to do instead is also give you guys some tools. I have a couple of tools that are very potent and effective, and I'm going to share them with you a little bit later on. This way, even if you don't get into what I'm talking about, if it doesn't work for you, you're going to have a couple of tools you can take to use in your own way for your own benefit. Sound like a fair deal? Okay, I got a thumbs up. That works. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about myself. Tim gave me a great introduction, and I'm very appreciative to how much he thinks of what I did for him. And I have been doing this for 33 years, but interestingly, it's not how I started out. Just curious, anybody want to comment or question or actually take a shot at asking what I did before I got into healing? Anybody want to raise their hand?
Just
Okay,
tell us, Gary. You're on pins and needles.
yes. Okay,
You didn't think she guessed it, you know?
okay.
That
Go
she's
ahead, Ian.
accountant. She wrote down.
She wrote right. That's right. Who would have thunk it, right? So that's how I started out. But I always wanted to be in the healing field. And I went to a psychic fair once that was in the city, and I met a woman there who basically turned my world around. Sitting across from me, maybe 3, 4 feet away, she actually started moving energy as we talked. And she's telling me I'm angry, and I'm saying, I don't feel anything. And sure enough, she started moving energy, and anger came up, and I was hooked. I worked with her for 4 years, and what she basically taught me was how to work with emotions, how to dialogue with the inner child, how to connect with that feeling part of the body outside of the head. And as I worked with her, I came to the realization that I could do this work. It's not easy for me to teach it, but I could do this for myself and for others. And so as I grew in that, I introduced it into my practice. And as Tim said, I started out with Reiki. I am a Reiki master, and I had been doing that for several years. And that was all well and good. But when I added the shamanic healing to the Reiki practice, things changed dramatically. And I saw that I was able to help people on deeper, more profound levels. So let me explain what shamanic healing is, or at least as best I can. It is, well, are you folks familiar with the indigenous cultures of, for example, Native Americans, Mayans, Peruvians, other indigenous cultures? They always had someone in their tribe that was the medicine man, the healer. The shaman was that medicine man, the healer. And among the many things that a shaman can do, the greatest was that he could feel or she could feel what someone was holding on to, draw it from themselves into himself, and release it through himself. The effect is that it helps people to let go of those thoughts and feelings that they're holding on to that they don't know what to do with, they don't know how to reach, they don't know how to connect with. And that's what I've been doing essentially for the last 33 years, helping people to let go of those thoughts, those fears, those feelings that tell them they can't handle it, that they don't have an empowerment or a sense of confidence, that they are really a victim as opposed to being a dynamic individual who can move forward in life. And when I work with them, that's exactly what happens. As we release the energies that they're holding on to, an interesting thing happens. One, the energy comes out, obvious. But two, there's a natural increase in energy, in confidence, in a sense of self-assurance. And this is because when you deal with energy, energy isn't going, it can't be deleted, but it can be transformed. And when you don't feel yourself being held back by the thoughts, the fears, the experiences of what you knew in the past, you become more confident. You become more uh, interested in taking on challenges, even if they're minor. But things that held you back don't hold you back as much. And the beauty of it is, things change quickly. It's not like you have to go for months and months at a time before you see any change. I do say honestly and clearly, you can see change in the very first session. It's that potent. Why? For the very, very simple reason that I'm not what I need to understand where you're coming from, what's bothering you, what's going on. Once I have that, I don't need that information any longer. All I need is your willingness to let go, and I go into the emotion where it's located in the body. Many people think that you hold or we hold our emotions in the mind. No, that's not a truth. The truth is that hold it, we use our minds to hold that energy in the body. What I mean by that is the head is very, very strong. It can block anything. And when you have a mindset that says, no, I'm not letting it go, not a damn thing I could do. But when you say to me, okay, I'm willing, that's all I need, openness. Belief is not required. However, in openness, you can do some amazing things. When openness becomes belief, and belief comes into a sense of knowing, healing miracles can and do occur. And I've been witness to them. Now, I want to just tell you a quick story. This goes back a long time to my nephew when he was 7 years old. He's about 30 now, so 23 years ago. And he said to me, Uncle Gary, I got a real bad headache. And I'm thinking, all right, he's this little boy, I'm this big adult. I'll fix it, no problem. And so I started working on him and doing my thing, and nothing changed. I looked at him and said, Brandon, are you thinking about your headache? Yeah, I'm thinking I want it to go away. And I said, okay, do me a favor, no, don't think anymore. Just be there. Don't think about your headache. And sure enough, in about 15 seconds was gone. A little boy was able to block me. And as Tim can attest, and I don't mean this boastfully, but it's the truth, I'm pretty damn powerful. So if a little boy can block me, you guys could really block me well. Okay? I think that's fair. Okay. But the idea is that when you allow yourself to let go, what really happens is you feel yourself releasing the blocks, the energy that told you you have to stay in this mindset, that you can't go forward, that you can't do anything differently. And it changes life. And I'm thinking about this as I'm talking to you, and I'm thinking this is not just about emotional healing for spiritual growth. This applies very effectively to people who are working, who have issues at work, with employees, with coworkers, with anybody, family dynamics. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that whatever the issue is, it's really reflecting something that happened to you when you were younger. And because you were young, you held on to it. But now what happens is when we go into it, that part, that younger part that is essentially frozen in time, sitting there holding on to that experience, when we help that part of you to let go, two things happen. One, the energy frees up and floods back into you for new creativity, new awareness, new understanding. The second part is that part that was frozen there begins to thaw out. And as it does, it melds back into you, which is a really nice feeling, which generally feels like, wow, I feel calmer. I feel more secure. And this is one of the fun things, I guess I'll call it for me, because I get to see how people change and grow. So it's very exciting. And I've been doing this, as I said, 33 years. I've worked now with It's really hard for me to say, but I'll say I've done well over 10,000 healings, just to throw a number out. So I've seen a lot. I understand a lot. I've watched a lot of people change. I've had a hand in helping others to change. And that's really the essence of this program tonight. The opportunity for you folks to hear what I'm saying, to experience the healing work for yourself. And I didn't say it before, but I do want to say it now. I always welcome questions. We don't have to wait till the end of the program to ask questions. So I've given you a lot to work on already. So if anybody would like to ask a question, put your hand up and let Tim let you in. I'll be more than happy to answer it.
And Gary, as people are raising their digital hands or raising their physical hands, I just wanted to let you know when you were sharing on the intro about we're going through a different this shift that's happening. Yin asked the question, when was the beginning of this harmonic convergence? And
Okay.
yeah, so you want to
Yeah.
answer that?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, did you get that question? Yeah, what was the beginning of the harmonic convergence? Yin asked.
Well, the harmonic convergence, you guys will recognize it more with the song We Are the World. It
Mm.
was an alignment of planets astrologically. And although I use that as a starting point, truthfully, these energies have been coming in much earlier than that, but that's when it kind of got its first big push. So I use that as a point in time. But when people say, hey, I'm waiting for the ascension. I can't wait till we're fifth dimensional. I can't wait till we're in unity consciousness. A lot of people don't understand that, or rather they say, okay, it's coming from galactic center. It's coming from the higher realms. This energy, this push is coming from the source. That's all accurate. But we tend to forget about the practical of how Earth is moving through space. And again, how it's going from what was a lower vibration to a higher vibration. And again, that higher vibration is causing us to all push up and release the fears, the doubts, the issues, the experiences that told us that we don't matter, we're not good enough, we don't belong, etc. And that's really, to me, what spirituality is. You can have all the fun experiences you want, having visions and colors and channeling, but true growth by letting go of the old is the only guaranteed way to ascend. Okay. And that's not from me. That's from Saint Germain. Now, granted, I paraphrased that, but that's his statement because you have to let go of what was. You can't grow if you're still holding on to the past. Okay. So I hope that's helpful the way I explained it.
Thanks so much, Gary. And if
Yeah.
anybody has any other questions, feel free to post them in the chat as we're conversing, and then we'll ask throughout the presentation any questions that you might have. The only one that I had up off the top of my head, Gary, is everyone now claims to be a shaman or a priestess. How the heck do you differentiate, if even if you can say that word, between people who are really shamanic empathic healers and all these other people that are out there?
Well, that's a very, very fair question. And I hope you folks will permit me to be just a little bit cynical right now.
Go
And
ahead.
this is based on many years of doing this work. The great majority of people who say they're this or they're that aren't. They have aspects of it. They try, but they're not necessarily who they say they are. To be a true shaman, to be a true healer, a true teacher, you can't just walk the walk. You must talk the talk. Sorry, talk the talk. You must walk the walk. You have to be who you say you are. If you don't have the integrity, if you don't have the substance, it's not going to work. And I have seen a lot of people who want to be healers, who want to be psychics, who want to be making a difference. And fairly, they do make a difference. But too many times I've heard stories of them people doing things that they intended to be uplifting and positive, and it blows up on them. So in my mind, there are those who are the real thing, but there are many that aren't. So the question would come to me, how do you tell the difference? And the best way to tell the difference is to just trust yourself. What does it feel like? Does it feel right? Does it feel like truth? Does this person feel like they have integrity? If they do, listen to yourself, follow. But if you don't feel that, if you feel like they're pretending, that they're maybe too inexperienced for you or can't relate to what you're dealing with, go another way. Don't just go for the sake of going. Okay? That's something not only in terms of healers and teachers, also in psychics, because a lot of people want to be psychic, but not everybody is going to get you. Not everybody's going to connect. So what you really want to do is listen to your heart. Let your heart tell you what's true and what's not. Now, this is a really important point. The world we live in is a dualistic world. It's polarity. You have right and left, up and down, back and forth. Okay? But when you come out of the duality into unity, there's only one voice. And it's that aspect of shamanic healing that I look for. Because when I work with you, and I'm not working with the story in your mind, but the real emotion, the real feeling that is holding that story, that's when true change happens. And one of the things I'd like to stress here, when I work with somebody, it's not like you've got to do a lot of work. Truth of the matter is I end up doing much of the work because I know how to connect with the emotion. And for the first timer, it's sort of like, what do I do? How does this work? Worse, what kind of sounds are you making? Tim alluded to that, and I guess I'll take a moment to explain that. The sounds are your energy. I'm actually tapping into you energetically. Imagine a plug or a tube connecting us, and I draw along that plug or tube the feelings that you wish to release. And as you connect with them and let go, they get stronger in me. For me not to hold on to them, I have to let them out in some way. And I do that through my voice, through sounds, through tones, through growling, if there's anger or frustration, or through higher pitched tones if I'm looking to refine and balance situations. Everyone is unique and different, and every healing situation is unique and different. So it gives a lot of variety and a lot of opportunity to help in many different ways.
Gary, we have some more great questions that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
All right, this one's from Victoria. How do you stop your mind from going to the past, even though you want to move on from it?
Hmm. It's a great question, Victoria. Here's the answer. Let's see if I can say it the way I mean it. In its sense, you have to become like a child, not be a child, but think like a child. And I'll try to illustrate it this way. I have this story going on in my head, but my head's not letting me feel the emotion. So I'm going to try and say to myself, I'm not going to think. I'm going to turn inside and I'm going to say, what does this feel like to me? Do I feel sad? Do I feel angry? Do I feel mad? And I'm going to give myself the chance to say, okay, I feel sad. So I try to let myself be sad. Or if I'm angry, let myself be angry. And as I do that, the energy starts moving. I grant you, when you're not familiar with it, it's not easy. But as you get used to it, it gets a lot easier. Okay? Is that a good enough answer, Victoria, or do you want to follow up?
Victoria, feel free to unmute yourself or also put it in the chat. Thanks. It was a great question. I know a lot of people feel like that. Go ahead, Victoria.
Um, Hi. Oh,
Hi.
wait. Hi. It's just, it sounds easy, but when you actually try to do it, it's so hard to uh just let things go and just let it be. Because I have so much trouble sleeping.
Mm.
And, it's just, how do I just stop the mind from over overworking?
Well, like we said earlier, meditation is excellent. Deep breathing is very good. Here's a very simple approach that might help, and just asking your higher self to help your mind stop spinning. But the problem is, it's a habit. So it takes a
Yeah.
practice to make it to come out of it. If I were working with you one-on-one, what I'd be doing is helping you to let go of the energies that wind you up, that keep you there. And we would do that by going into the doubt, the fear, the experience. That's at the source of what's making your mind so active. And as we did that, it would get easier.
So I have to face what I'm thinking about all the time and then uh
Not all the
sort of
time,
let it
when
go.
you can, okay? Because you'll never do it all the time. It's not going to happen. But if you do it when you can, when you're in that space, you'll be surprised. Because think of the children. Children act out. They yell, they scream, they throw tantrums, they get silly. This is when their little energies, their little bodies can't handle the overload. And so this is how they dispel it. In my work, that's exactly what we do. I help you to get into that space so that you can release it with me. All right. So let's pretend like I'm working with you for the first time. You'll do 30% of the work. I'll do the other 70. Because again, I know where to go. I know what to do. I know what to say. I know what to feel. And as you see it and feel it, you get stronger. You get more secure because you're saying to yourself, well, not even saying sorry. You just feel more confident, more complete, and more able.
So you're saying just feel the whatever you're feeling or feel whatever you're thinking about, feel the emotion and sort of just let it release it,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
let it go, just
Let it
like
come
that.
up. Let it come up. Let yourself express what you're actually feeling. Don't hide it. Don't pretend. If you're feeling sad,
So
I'm sad.
that's gonna release it. That just feeling it will release it.
It will help to release it. Yeah. It won't necessarily be as complete as what I can do, but it's a starting point, and that's a good place to be.
Gary, can I add something? You
Sure.
help me realize how important it is to release emotions. Society told us that if you're angry, upset, keep quiet, keep to yourself, be
Mhm.
civilized. Gary
Correct.
was the only one who actually said, Tim, you're pissed off. I want you to release that, but do it in a healthy, constructive way. So he would give me a towel. And in the session, we'd like, ring the towel, and guess what? I was thinking about, being bullied, and I was like choking out some of those people. Like it was that guttural emotional release. And it could be the opposite where it's like, I'm scared. I feel that, maybe it was something about finances. And it's like, Gary's like, release that. And I would just imagine all the worst things happening, my bank account bouncing, all this other kind of stuff, like yelling, screaming, crying. Like it was cathartic release is not taught in our society. But Gary helped me realize how important it is for us to do that. And then once we release that, cry it out, angry, squeeze a pillow, punch a pillow, guess what happens? You become calm. You can become relaxed, right? Anything else to add, Gary?
Yeah. In fact, that was one of the tools I was going to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
The towel serves a big purpose, and the reason it does is because it gives you a focal point to take your hurt, anger, sadness out. It makes it really hard to think. When you're pulling on a towel like this, okay, a hand towel, and you're pulling, and one, you can't rip it, so it's always resisting you. And the more you try, the less you can think because it's like, ugh, 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 okay? Now, when you do that, you're starting to discharge the pent-up energy you have because you said, I'm not thinking anymore. I'm directing it at this towel.
Mm.
Or punching a pillow, as Tim mentioned, hitting a couch, always someplace something safe so you can't get hurt. But the idea is give yourself a way to distract your mind to let this out. Now, you know what? I'm thinking. And I am Tim. I'm asking for everybody to give a show of hands. I want to get into the healings fairly soon, so that everybody I can help whomever wants to be helped. but I have two tools I'd like to introduce. So is everybody okay if I go just a little bit longer? And then, okay, great. Michelle said thank you. Yes, okay.
Yeah, and Gary, we only have one other question in the chat, but
Oh,
feel free to go with the flow of what you're inspired to share. You know, we can always ask the question later.
okay. Brianna says thumbs up. Great. All right. So I'm going to continue for a couple of minutes and then we'll turn it around.
Okay.
The tools that I want to talk about are, one is forgiveness. Now yeah, okay, we'll do it this way. This is important because very, very often we do things that we later regret. And sometimes the reason we regret is because we can't make amends to anybody because maybe they're not here anymore. Maybe they've moved, maybe lost contact. We have no way to reach them. And we say, geez, I feel really guilty about that. Okay, well, you don't have to always talk to the person in order to get forgiveness. You've always heard when you did something wrong, you apologize. And when someone else did something or something did something wrong to you, they should apologize. But what happens when you do something to yourself? When you say you beat up on yourself, you put yourself down, you won't forgive yourself for a mistake or regret or what have you. You hold that energy and it stays there until you're willing to let it go. So the tool I'm offering is the idea that you can actually call on your higher self, an ascended master, an angel, the angel of forgiveness, whomever you want to help you forgive yourself. So the exercise I'm introducing is that I'd like everybody to think about something, nothing heavy, please, just simple stuff that you feel bad about. It could have happened today, yesterday. It could have happened when you were a little baby or a child. Doesn't make a difference in time. But if it's something that's been on your mind, think about it. And when you feel ready, and you meaning that you feel like you're feeling that feeling or that emotion, ask for it to be released as it serves the highest good and see where it goes. See what happens. How does everybody feel? Anybody want to comment?
My back was cracking like it was releasing stuff when I just, you know.
Yeah, and it just came out, right?
Hmm.
Good, good. All right. What you may feel is a little bit lighter, a little bit clearer. You may be breathing better, but this is a really effective way to let go of guilt, regret, remorse. And if it doesn't work the first time, do it several times. Give yourself a chance. The more you practice with it, the better it's going to get. Okay. Now, I'll give you another one. This is even more exciting to me. This actually came when at the time when the Twin Towers fell. I was sitting on the porch of my house in Westbury, and I could hear, I'm not far from the parkway at that time, and normally there's a din, a continual din as the cars pass. In this particular case, it wasn't. What it actually was, it was quiet because the only cars on the road were emergency vehicles. And I was sitting there thinking, I was saying, why does it feel so different? And I saw in my mind a spiral coming down like this. And I was given the information that that was a representation of all the negative thoughts that we put out every day that nobody does anything about. We say something in haste or anger. We yell at somebody. We get angry on the road. We think negative things or we speak without thinking. And these energies accumulate over time as they have, and have created some of the difficulties that we're dealing with right now, which I mentioned earlier on. However, they showed me also that when you clean up those thoughts, the energy now goes upward in an upward spiral. So I was given a phrase to use. I'd like to introduce this to you now. And this is, I consider this so powerful that if I could get, let's pretend, 1 million people a day to use this phrase, given a world of 8 billion people, we would actually change the energy of this world almost immediately. Okay, now here it comes. The simple phrase is I ask that the energies I put out this day be converted to golden light substance to rain down on myself and all concerned as it serves the highest good. That simple phrase will transmute that negative energy. So what I'm going to ask you folks to do now is think of something you said today, yesterday, last week, whatever, that you feel bad about. And you've held on to it, but you haven't worked it out with that person, or maybe you've said it to yourself. Okay? And what I'd like you to do is repeat with me that phrase. All right? I'll presume everybody has something in mind. I ask that the energies, repeat this please. I ask that the energies I put out towards that person, and you name that person, be converted to golden light substance to rain down on myself and all concerned as it serves the highest good. And I'd like you just to, if you would, in the chat box, just tell Tim what you're feeling so we could just have a little feedback.
That was really good, Gary.
Good, good, I'm glad. I've been using this since that time, and it really makes a difference. To me, it often feels like a showering of golden light coming down, a soothing, a calming, an ease. And it's so important because we hurt ourselves so much by holding on to feelings of, I shouldn't have done that. I said the wrong thing. I'm embarrassed by how I handled it. So many other variations. But if you could use this as a practice, a daily practice, and you don't even have to use it daily, you can use it when you remember and when you feel it, you're going to see things change for you. It's going to help you be softer to yourself. And essentially, if you're softer to yourself, you're going to be softer to other people. So I wanted to introduce these two tools, and I hope you guys will take advantage of them and play with them, see what they do for you. And I'll also give you the caveat that, again, it doesn't matter when the thoughts or the words or the actions were occurred. It could be today, last week, last year, 50 years ago, makes no difference. Time doesn't matter. Okay? So I hope that's helpful to you. And that's what I
Gary,
wanted to share.
some of the comments were Brianna felt more calm. Yin
Good.
wrote, "I forgive myself," and then Janice asked, "Can you repeat this phrase one more time?" And I can just share with you when you did it, I
Okay.
imagined a person, and I just felt love for myself and this other person. When you said that golden light hitting us, I just felt love like deeply for that person as myself. So
That's great, Tim. And I'm glad that Brianna felt it
yep,
and Jen felt it. And
yep.
this is really great because this is what we need to begin to help ourselves heal. If we want to move ahead and ascend into higher awareness, forgiving ourselves is a major issue. And letting go of these things that hold us to the past free us up. Additionally, the golden light is transmuting that negative energy. Consequently, once it's transmuted, unless you feel like it hasn't done the job completely, it's done. And if it hasn't done the job completely, all you need to do now is do it again until you feel complete. So let me restate the phrase, and I'll do it slowly.
Yes, please do. And I'll type it in the chat for anybody who's watching this live, and then also we'll have it for the recording as well. So go ahead, Gary. Yeah,
Okay.
please. Slowly.
I ask that the energies I put out this day,
I ask that the energy
entities,
I put out this day
be converted to golden light substance
be converted to golden light substance,
to rain down on myself
rain down on myself
and all concerned
and all concerned,
as it serves the highest good.
serves the highest good. Boom. Perfect. Thank you, Gary.
My pleasure. So, giving you those tools, it's a beginning to help you move forward from where you are. Don't look at them as standalones. Look at that as an adjunct to any and all practices you're doing now. Because there's no one tool, one approach, one path that it will ever get you to where you want to go. It's what is needed in the moment based entirely on what you're ready for and what feels right to you. Okay?
Awesome.
So I'll just put it out that way. Get to.
Perfect. Gary, Schumann, this was her question. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. How do you understand your life plan before birth, karma and reincarnation? Those are big questions.
Those are very big.
And do it in 1 minute or less. No, go ahead.
Well, Schumann, I'll try to explain it this way. Every one of us makes a plan before we come into the physical reality. Okay? The older the soul, the more complex, the more detailed the plan. The younger the soul, the more room for creativity. The younger soul wishes to create karma, which, from their perspective, is learning, growth, because they want to understand the experience in the physical world. The older soul, having gone through the younger soul phases, now says, I don't really want to create karma. I want to pay back karma. So an older soul is going to create their lives more in a more structured way to not only repay that karma, but to learn what they want to learn without the drama of karma. Okay? Now, where reincarnation comes into it, it's basically the same picture. We come back each lifetime to learn deeper and greater lessons of why we're here and what life is about. In a very simplistic way, life is about growth, about evolution, about learning to love and accept ourselves for who we are, because as we do, we automatically love and accept others for who they are. Eventually, you reach the point where you say, okay, I've learned and I've grown and I've done enough that I'm ready to cycle off the physical plane into a higher plane of learning and knowledge. Now, that is not a human choice. That's your soul's choice. But that is the ultimate goal in terms of the physical lifetimes on Earth. And so reincarnation plays that role. In this lifetime, the potential exists because of the higher energies for more and more of us to ascend to a point where we no longer need to come back into the physical incarnation. But again, that's unique to each and every individual. Does that help explain the question in a minute or less?
Schumann, feel free to unmute yourself or also put in the chat. Thank you so much.
Can I ask one more question after that?
Sure.
I do feel that helps. And I also hear people, they say like you have to like awaken to stop the reincarnation. So I'm thinking, but also other people, they say if you have a higher like frequency, you may just like that's soul's decision. So if for people they want to stop it, is that something we could control or it's like just soul's decision?
No, this is definitely nothing we can control. We can help build ourselves to the point where we can move closer and closer to that point of quote ascension. but we can't, with our minds, make this happen. That's why I've been stressing tonight about clearing the emotional debris, the feelings of hurt, disappointment, sadness, feelings of regret, remorse, and all the negative emotions that associate there. Because the more we clear that out, the more we feel better about us. Like I said before, we feel better about others. Okay? So it really is, for lack of a, no, it's not lack, it's a good term. It's an organic process. As you let go of whatever holds you back, you naturally move ahead by an equal degree.
That's great. That's something we could do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm looking at the clock time, it's 7:53. I'd like to open this up if anybody would like to a healing. I'd like to do some to demonstrate the technique and to give them the benefit of what shamanic healing can do.
Who here would like to raise their digital hand? I saw Victoria first, and
Yeah.
then I saw Claire second.
Okay, so let's start with Victoria. And Victoria, I know you were talking before about your mind running too much. When you think about your mind running too much in a big picture way, why do you think that's so?
I'm just an overthinker and trying to heal my body, and I know I'm holding on to something that's not serving me and it's preventing me from healing. So I just need to, I don't know, I can't calm my mind for some reason. I can't just stay in the moment, and I can't get to sleep even. So,
So let's try this. You're saying you're trying to heal your body. What's going on physically?
well, I was doing a detox and the toxins were coming out, but it just stayed. It didn't completely release out of my body. So right now it's just the rash is still there, and I'm just not able to get rid of it.
Okay. In what way do you feel, or do you feel you're kind of beating up on yourself?
I guess I have a lot of regrets, resentments, or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. I trying not to think of, I mean, not that I'm trying, I'm saying to myself, I'm letting it go. But why is it so hard to actually, why is it still staying with me? I just, ah,
There's a simple
frustrated.
answer. That's okay. There's a simple answer to your question.
What is it?
Because you're trying too hard.
Oh,
What I'm going to do for you is I'm
what
going
am
to,
I trying too hard? Too hard to, I mean, what am I doing too
yeah,
hard of?
you're up here. You're not down here.
Oh,
Okay. And that's what I mean. You're thinking, what can I do? How can I do it? But
yeah,
everything, and this is so common because we all do this. This is the society we grew up in.
yeah,
So we're thinking about it instead of just
yeah.
feeling. So what I
hmm
want to do for you, I want to clear some of this blame, this energy you're putting on yourself as a way of opening the door. Okay. So I'm going to go back just slightly to what I was saying before about forgiveness. And I'm going to ask you, and first I'll ask you, do you like this idea of either the higher self, the angel of forgiveness, ascended master? God, who would you reach out to if you wanted to reach out to somebody for help?
I always ask guardian angels, spirit guides, and
Beautiful.
ask them for help.
That's wonderful. Great. So what I'm going to ask you to do is feel the feeling of I'm beating up on myself. And now, once you feel that, call on your guardian angel, spirit guide, and ask them to help you release this as it serves the highest good. After you do that, or as you do that, as I feel it, I'm going to start taking energy away from you. And then we'll see how you feel after I finish. Okay?
Thank you. Yes.
Sure. Oh. that feel a little lighter or different?
I don't know. I felt a tiny bit anxious.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
all
know
right.
if that's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's perfectly fine. In fact, be anxious. Let me take the anxiousness from you. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
In fact, what I'd like you to do is imagine, even though we were on the internet, imagine directing the anxiety at me. Okay?
Mm,
All right.
mm.
Go ahead and just ask again for your guardian angel, spirit guide to take this away.
That was good.
A little bit different that time?
I think I was, yeah, I think it's
Right. Now, interesting,
really,
right? You're in where are you physically? Are you what town?
actually in Florida right now.
Great. So you're
But I'm originally in New York, but right now I'm in Florida.
right. So essentially you're 1,200 miles away. Yet it's
Mm,
like you're right here in the room with me.
mm,
That's the power of this kind of healing. It can be done anywhere. The distance is no object. I've worked
right.
around the world and I've had comparable results. And this is just a couple of minutes of doing it. But the fact that you feel it, that you feel a change, even from this little bit, is significant.
I just feel like this something is trying to release or starting to release or just like, you know, something from here, just I don't know, but just
All right, do one more thing for me. I want you to breathe in and out of that area, okay? And then with your hands, one hand, sorry, just do this. Stir it up. That's a girl.
ooh, ooh.
Love that one, huh?
Ah, what a like a sense of relief, relief.
This is
That's how
what
I
I'm
felt.
good. This is what I've been talking
Ah,
about. We hold on to it. It's so hard because we're not used to letting it go.
mm,
And then when a bigger force, in this case me, comes into
mm.
you, and I bring that bigger force in, it has to respond to the stimulus. And because you're
Like,
working with me, not against me, it comes out.
mm, it's just like so overwhelming at the same time. It's like, can't even catch my breath. Ah,
That'll pass in a minute or two.
And
thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Is Claire next, Tim?
yes, and I just want to say, Gary, I love the fact that you asked her to take ownership and start stirring with her hand because if she's in her head, that's getting in the way, and doing something physical was maybe that way to bypass it. I felt it very powerful, Gary.
Oh, it was twofold. It was one way to get bypass it, but two, what's happening when I had her stirring like this, she's physically stirring the energy
Mhm.
instead of keeping it stagnant. It stimulates it and
Um,
causes it to vibrate faster. As it vibrates faster, I can get it out more.
Wow.
thank you so much.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Victoria. Thank you.
Go ahead, Claire.
Okay, Claire. Hi.
Hi, everyone. So I had something happen last week in work,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like I know where it's coming from as far as like my anger and resentment of feeling undervalued, and then other people kind of like not playing by the rules. I definitely know it's from my childhood, you know, youngest of six, and just kind of, the anger and resentment, and like it kind of just like I had a bit of a flare when something went on at work. And it even like knowing what's happening, like, but also being very powerless over the flare of it.
Mhm.
And also really being like just feeling it in my body, like chest pains, it like all this stuff, just like, and and I probably think that it's from the anger, like letting you know that I'm angry, because I'm not a person that expresses anger that much, but boy, when it arrives, I'm gonna let you know it. You know?
Right, and that's what
So
happens with so many
yeah,
people. It builds
yeah.
up and builds up, and
Hmm.
eventually comes out in often inappropriate or in bad times.
Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't completely lose it, but it's not going to serve me in the workplace. And I just want to be free of this, and I want to just feel free and balanced and not in the grip of it.
Okay, that's fair. So you said it was a childhood thing. Do you can you describe for me some of what you were feeling that brought you into the idea it's childhood?
Just the feeling of it's not fair.
Oh,
It's not
beautiful. Oh, I
fair.
love it. That simple phrase. I'm going to try this. I don't know if it'll work the first time out, but I want to try this. I want you to feel what you're feeling and just keep saying as much as you can, it's not fair. Let yourself feel it's not fair. Okay?
Okay. Should I
I'll,
say it though out loud?
yeah, but I'm going to explain. I'll explain afterwards. I want to see how this affects you. And if it works the way I think, it'll be pretty cool. If not, I'll do more. All right?
It's not fair.
That's it. Just get lost in it.
It's not fair. It's not
Oh,
fair. It is not fair.
be
It's
like
not
a kid
fair.
saying it. It's not fair. Not fair.
It's not fair. It is not fair. It is not fair. It's not fair. It is not fair. It's not fair.
Okay. Now, what did that feel like? Did you feel any sensations?
A little bit, nothing that I can I was just trying to focus on feeling that it's not fairness.
Good. Now, say that again to me, just as we're talking,
It's not fair.
and watch how I change the voice, okay? It's not fair. Not fair. Not fair. It's not fair. Take it down to a childlike.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's not fair. 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 It's not fair.
Did that feel any different this time?
Yeah, it felt like a little bit more sad instead of angry.
Right. And in terms of the sad and angry, sad rather than angry, what do you feel physically? Do you feel any of that energy coming out of you?
I feel less energized around it,
Good. So less charged, I think.
less charged.
Good, good. All right. So I'll go a little bit deeper. And this time, I want you to imagine, if you can, yourself as a child,
Hmm.
wherever that's coming from. And what I'd like you to do, whether you want to play the role of big sister, mom, or whatever feels right, I just want you to go put your arms around that part of you, that young part of you, and just tell her you accept her just the way she is, and she doesn't have to hold this any longer. Okay? Just
Okay.
nurture and love her as much as you can. Oh.
I accept you. It's okay. I accept you. You don't have to hold this. You don't have to punish anyone. You don't have to feel this way. You don't have to make other people feel your pain. You don't have to feel the pain. I believe you, and I'm here with you.
Does that feel clear?
Calmer.
Good. This is a little more involved than what I could do here, but you get the idea that as we talk to that young part of you, the part that's frozen in time when this all really kind of congealed, as she thaws out, you grow because that calmness is her letting go and brings back into you that sense of grounding and presence.
Yes.
Okay. Now, there's a fair chance in the next 5, 10, 15 minutes, you might feel more open than you do now because this
Okay.
keeps on working.
Great. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
Sure. Anybody else? I'm
Can I do one?
Schumann, I'm sorry, just let me say something for a moment.
Sure.
I'm purposely moving fairly fast. I'd like to get as many as I can. I know we're going to close the call roughly around 8:30. So I just want to get people in. So this is not what I do in the office. It's a piece of it, but it's done much more. It takes longer and it's more focused than what I'm doing here. This is like, let's get some healing in so that you could feel the difference, but it's not, it's a, a hint of what I actually do. So I just wanted to say that so that it helps you to get a better idea that it's not just like 5 minutes and you're done. Okay,
We've melted 1/10 of the iceberg, right?
there you go. There you go. That'll work.
Schumann, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I have eczema, so I think probably because I hear from other, I'm hypnosis, and they told me it's kind of like allergy, and I try medicine that really doesn't help. So I'm thinking probably that's something I could try today. So
Okay.
let me know your thoughts.
All right. Well, asthma is a physical condition,
Mhm.
so it can be affected by atmospheric pollutants. It is a narrowing of the bronchial tubes in the lungs. But if you are someone who tends to experience a lot of emotional stress, anxiety, and the like, that could have a real physiological effect on your breathing. Is that your situation, Schumann?
Breathing problem?
I think she said, is it asthma or eczema, Schumann? Let's be clear, because we didn't quite hear you. Gary heard asthma. What is the condition you have?
So basically like allergies on my hands, legs. Yeah.
The
So
more
it's more,
Breathing problems more. Yeah, I don't have breathing
skin,
problem.
skin, Gary, skin.
okay, fine.
Got it.
Okay, so again, this is a biochemical issue, but I will ask you the question. Do you tend to be an anxious person?
I don't really feel these feelings. I feel calm most of the time, but uh but from the skin, the problems I feel, yeah, sometimes under stress.
Okay, so working the way I am, I'm not going to be able to do much to change the condition of your skin. But if you get anxious about these kind of conditions, then I can do something there. So
Okay.
let me ask you now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how strong is your feeling that the sense of anxiety or unease about your skin issues?
4 or 5.
Okay, great. So if it's okay with you, what I'd like to help you with is to release some of that energy, some of that anxiety. Would that be okay?
Sounds great.
Okay, good. So all I'm going to ask you to do is feel first that anxiety, and then Tell me when you feel like you're in it.
Probably the core belief that I may not good enough or competitive enough, strong enough, or I have to handle things alone. Yeah.
That's fabulous, actually, because that really goes to the heart of the issue. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do, just like I did with Claire and with Victoria, who would you like to ask for help? An angel, uh, your higher self, an ascended master, God? Who would work for you? What would work for you?
Mm, I rely on myself.
Okay, so would it be fair to use your higher self, that part of you that sees the big picture?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're going to ask your higher self to help you let go of the doubts, the fears, the feelings of inadequacy. Does that sound reasonable?
Yes.
Okay. So all I'm going to ask you to do is say, higher self, help me release the doubt, fear, and feelings of inadequacy as it serves the highest good. And let yourself feel that anxiety. And when I feel it, I'll use my shamanic abilities to help you. Oh, 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 oh. Oh. How does that feel, Shimon?
I'm uncertain.
Okay, that's okay. You can be uncertain. I'm Gary. How you do? All right. The reason you're uncertain is because I need to take another swipe at it. So I'm going to ask you to do that again. Ask your higher self to help you release
Mhm.
anxiety, the fear, the inadequacy, as it serves the highest good.
I feel the problem for me is when you ask me to feel the anxiety, I don't really feel the anxiety. So I'm not sure, is that like I suppress the feeling, or like I'm numb, or I don't know, I don't feel it.
Okay, now don't worry about the anxiety. Go to those feelings of inadequacy you mentioned.
Okay.
Right? That's more accurate. Ooh. Ooh. How does it feel now? Any difference?
Mm, yeah, I a little bit different is I previously, actually in the middle of this meeting, like I started to feel headache, and I feel the headache is better now,
Oh,
and I
good.
have kind of like the image, kind of like the blue line from the top to, um,
Good. Just do what I'm doing. Just
okay.
with your hand fingers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're roughing up the area in the sternum. Oh, and breathe. Oh. How does that feel now?
Mm, feel the headaches back.
Okay. What else do you feel? Do you feel any sense of lightness, warmth, flushing, upliftment?
I noticed previously my hands, my hands are itchy, but it stopped right now.
Okay. But in terms, we were asking about looking to release the inadequacy, sense of inadequacy. Do you feel
Oh,
any more positive, any more uplifted?
yeah, I'm not thinking about it, so that probably helped. Yeah.
Okay, good. The headache is a whole different story, and that takes some work. Let me try one more thing. Yeah. Okay, all I want you to do is visualize that the energy is coming up and out of your head. Okay, the headache energy. Ooh. Okay, does that feel any better? Good, great. And Schumann, where are you physically? What town?
Near city, Lower Manhattan.
Fantastic. So I didn't ask Claire. I should have. So sorry, Claire, but you're welcome to tell me where you are right now. But again, New York City from where I am is about 45 miles. Not bad. Okay, we have time probably for one more. So Tim, is there anybody else waiting?
Anybody, feel free to unmute yourself. Invite to have a mini healing with Gary Spolansky.
Okay, while we're waiting to see if anybody else wants to do it, let me just explain something else that's happening. Obviously, you can see how red-faced I got, how much energy was flowing through me. And this is because, again, I'm taking on the energies of Victoria, Claire, Schumann, as I work with each one, taking them on into me and releasing them. So I'm very familiar with this, obviously. So it isn't really hard for me, but it does take some physical effort because I'm letting that energy come in. I'm allowing that condensed energy that comes from the person I'm working with to come into me and then transmuting it within me as it comes out in voice. And the sound of my voice often reflects the emotion or the feeling that's coming into me. Anger, rage, frustration, sadness, hurt, disappointment. So whatever it is, I let it come through. But then the higher pitch tones are really saying, okay, we've broken through some of this. Now let's smooth it down. Let's realign it. Let's balance it. And in doing it that way, we create a recalibration of the energetic vessel of the body. Okay. Sorry, I didn't use the right word, but we're realigning the energy of the individual I'm working with. So I'm hoping that's a little bit helps to make it a little more clear.
Excellent. Gary, we have Yi, who's asked for a healing. She's raised her digital hand so she can unmute.
Okay.
Yes, can I have the, I'm kind of in a, no problem. I don't want to put my video on. Is that mute okay? Is just the voice okay? The
Yeah,
audio?
it's fine. It's fine, Yi.
Yeah,
How have you been? I haven't talked to you in a long time.
I know, but I just still have a strong emotion toward a person, including anger, disgust, yeah, hatred. I wouldn't say hate.
Okay. That's okay.
I just feel like I've been working for so long time. It's got a lot better, but I thought this person going to disappear in my life, and he came back. It just make me really. I just realized I still have that strong emotion, just like anger and just yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like letting some of that anger go?
Yeah, I want to get every emotion. I want to have no emotion to this person.
All right. So, what I'm thinking is, okay, I'm debating in my mind how I want to approach this. Do you feel up to acting out a little bit?
What do you mean up to acting
Well,
out?
beating this guy up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The reason why I'm going to suggest this, it goes in line with what I was saying earlier about using the towel and taking energy out on the towel. In fact, do you by chance have a hand towel or a pillowcase or something nearby that you can use?
I have a pillowcase. Yes, I do have pillow next. Yeah, I mean bed
Okay.
actually. I do have pillowcase. Right.
Grab that pillowcase.
Uh-huh.
And what I want you to do is, as you think about this person and how you feel wronged by that person,
Uh-huh.
I want you to take it out on the pillowcase. And because we can't see you,
Right.
you have your privacy. So just get lost in it and let's see what happens. Okay?
So just get all the whatever.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll see how it feels. And I'll do it and let's see how it feels to you, and then we'll adjust it accordingly. Oh. Oh. How did that feel you?
Um, well, I did feel energy on my back. I don't know, my head on my back. I know there was something. But I just feel it didn't come out. It didn't come out. It's like a very deep or something.
So that's why we're going to do it again.
Mm.
And we're going to take it a little further in the sense that I'd like you to ask your higher self to help you release this now as it serves the highest good. And then, as best you can, just see this person and just do or say anything you want that makes you feel like you're getting even.
I feel this person. I know you do. You know the theory, like a mirror theory, right? I think there's definitely something. This person come back. It definitely is a mirror to want me to see myself something.
But don't see now, I agree with what you just said,
Uh-huh.
but I don't want you to focus on that.
No.
I don't
Okay.
want you to analyze. I want you to feel. Exactly.
Okay.
That was a little bit of energy coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
The less you think, the better
Uh,
you're going to do this.
okay. So yeah, I like to use my brain to analyze, understand. Okay, so I will just say, so I'll mute it because I probably will say something very bad,
All
nasty.
right, that's fine. Go ahead and mute. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. How we do that time?
I feel a lot of sadness.
Okay.
It turned out to be sad. Yeah.
Yeah, because anger covers sadness. Sadness covers anger. It all depends. But yeah, that sadness coming up is the key. So one more time, just let yourself feel the sadness. Don't think, just feel the sadness and let it come up. Okay. Does that feel better?
There's something out, right? Yeah. Yeah, just I feel quite deep. It's not totally out, but something out. It just is quite deep. Yeah.
It's very deep.
Yeah.
It will take more than what I can do here,
Mm.
but it's already starting to move. So
Yeah.
in the next 5, 10, 15 minutes, it might feel a little better than it does right now.
Mm. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Well,
I think we're kind of at the towards the end of the call. So Tim, anything you want me to address, or does anybody,
sure.
there's something anybody wants to know?
Well, at this point, yes, Victoria has raised her hand. We'll take Victoria as the last question, then I'll say
Yeah,
one,
Ken.
and
I
then
just want to give you some feedback that as you were healing the other people, I just felt this really freezing, just felt really cold and shivering, and I felt something in my solar plex area. Is that supposed to happen? Is that normal?
Yes, it is very normal because what you were holding on to took a lot of strength and energy to hold. So when you let go, you started getting cool. You cool down. And this is the same logic that why we use blankets at night when we sleep, because we slow down, we stop being active, and the body's temperature drops because we're not moving. So when you're working energetically, the same thing happens. You're working really hard to hold this energy and work through it and keep going. And then when it releases, it's like a weight taken off, and all that effort to hold it is gone. And so you just naturally calm down, cool down. And yeah, just as I can see in the image here, you're wearing a jacket, and that's
I was already wearing a jacket, and now I'm even wearing another jacket.
so what's going to happen is over the next 15 minutes, half hour, hour, you'll start warming up again as the energetic shock of what was cleared passes.
I actually did feel a little warmer, so I took it off for a bit, and then it got cold again. So I'm just gonna leave it on.
Okay, yeah,
But
but
the solar plex area, what is that? I mean, is that still something releasing, or is I'm still holding on to something?
both the things releasing and
Oh,
you're also holding on. And that's the unfortunate situation of working this way. I can't do what I would ordinarily do in a full
yeah,
session.
that's okay. That's
But
okay.
at the
Thank you
same
so
time,
much for, yeah,
oh,
yeah,
you're welcome. My
that's
pleasure.
okay. Yeah, thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm.
Uh, Tim?
yeah. So first of all, Gary, I wanted to say thank you so much for the CE5 group and for hosting you and for you inviting you to come on and saying yes to help share your gifts with the community. I've know personally firsthand the power of what you do, and even just listening on this session, I'm starting to pick up a pattern. People hold on to anger, resentment, and suddenly they start releasing it, and then guess what? It drops down to sadness, you know? And like that was shocking. And then it's like I was so frustrated and angry, and now I'm getting cold because I'm releasing it. Like this is great stuff. Like just like our thoughts are limiting our beliefs, it's like our mind is limiting our emotions, and you're just giving us permission to, you know, help release that. So thank you so much. I also included in the chat your contact information. If you would like a session with Gary, he's you know, he's located in the Westbury office right here in New York that he could schedule a one-on-one. I just wanted to, Gary, did you say that you were going to give a discount to the C5 community if they, or if anybody's watching this or is in the New York area?
Yeah, I did. For members of the C5 group, or anyone who watches this video and would like to work with me, normally a session with me is $125. It's roughly an hour, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But for this group, I'm giving a special of discount for the first session of $100. So instead of 125, it's 100. However, I have a second special, and that's my discount package. Normally, 4 sessions with me is a $500, 125 each. In this case, I want to do 4 sessions for 425, which essentially brings your cost down to 106. Spread over the 4 sessions, you save $75. And it's great if you want to come work with me in person, but I can obviously work at a distance. So if you're not in the New York area, but you'd still like to work this way, to learn what I do and allow me to help you, we can always arrange that by Zoom, by phone, whatever's going to work. Okay? So I appreciate you guys giving me the time, hearing my words, and I hope that some of what I've said has been helpful to you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Gary.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to share your phone number, Gary, your mobile number.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, 516-640-0397. That's 516-640-0397. Or you could also email Gary at GREIKIMASTER@AOL.com. That's GREIKIMASTER@AOL.com. Gary,
Could you also put the website in?
yes, it's thepowerisyou.com. Okay. ThePowerisYou.com. All right.
All right, fantastic. Thank you.
Gary, I'm grateful to call you a friend, a mentor, a business partner. When we do our Reiki classes together, we always have a lot of fun. Gary is such an important soul, a servant of the light, who's really trying to help people become empowered. I hope that all of you who are part of the CE5 community that have attended this live as well as watched this recording get some benefit and continue the path of releasing so we can become empowered, raise our awareness, and you know, be more loving to each other as well as ourselves. All right, have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Victoria. Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.